Hear ye is the word which Yahuwah speaks unto you, O house of Yashrael. Thus says Yahuwah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Yirmeyahu 10:1-2, also known as Jeremiah. The truth about the Thanksgiving holiday of the United States of America. What exactly are we giving thanks for? Feasting on a day of great deception is the real issue of the declared holiday of Thanksgiving. Yes, it is a fact that many cultures celebrated with thanks for their harvest, both the indigenous and so-called pilgrims prior. Growing up, many were taught in school that the first Thanksgiving was in 1621 when the pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. They supposedly had their first harvest with the indigenous tribe there and celebrated what became known as the first Thanksgiving. When the actuality was that this was a fall harvest celebration that took place according to history in the month of September or October. But this is not the declared holiday of Thanksgiving, which we celebrate in the United States. In 1789, President George Washington issued a proclamation calling November 26 a National Day of Thanksgiving to recognize the role of providence in creating the new United States and the new federal Constitution. It didn't become the official holiday until Abraham Lincoln in October 3rd, 1863. And he declared the fourth Thursday of November a national day of Thanksgiving. And since then, that is how we have kept it pretty much throughout history. This declaration was thought by some people at that time to help heal the battle between the North and the South after the Civil War. To be completely honest, this day of Thanksgiving was a day created by and for white men and their families. See, celebrating the achievements that they have accomplished with no regard for the indigenous population or slaves and all people who didn't look like them. History has clearly demonstrated that many injustices that founded this country, genocide, deception, massive brutality, massive rape, massive oppression and enslavement. The Constitution identifies Black people as 3/5 of a person and excludes Indians, so-called Indians. That's not even what they were called or are, who weren't taxed. Even after the Civil War, the injustices of Black people and the indigenous continued. So on a factual, carnal sense, this National Day of Thanksgiving is a day of thanks for those who are grateful for the injustices that this country is founded upon. So by partaking in this day, you also are increasing the financial gain for those that are the economic elite. So in a spiritual standpoint, if you considered yourself to be a follower of the Most High, you should not be partaking in this day. See, as a peculiar people of the Most High, knowing that this is a man-made holiday and its roots, why do so many feel compelled to partake in the day? It is clear in the word of Yah that Yahuwah does not want us to partake in man-made traditions as they are carnal and vain. In Matthew, or also known as Matthew 15:9 says, "But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." So anything that is concerned or fulfilled about this world, this carnal world that we live in, is all vanity. This is not the world to come. And I'm going to read a few scriptures about just the vanity and what it means, what we are doing when we partake in these days. It says Ephraim, which is Hebrews 13:9. It says, "Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with foods which have not profited them that have been occupied therein." Colossians 2:8 says, "Be aware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach." And Colossians 2:20-22 also says, "Wherefore, if ye be dead with Mashiach, with the Messiah, from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, are you subject to dogma? Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using after the commandments of men and doctrines of men." And it says Matthew 24:35, which is Matthew 24:35. It says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away." And then it also says it in Luke. I'm going to read Lucas. It's 21:33-34. "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares." So if we get consumed with the traditions of this life, the day of judgment might come upon us unaware. When we die to ourselves, we die to the things of this life. And we are supposed to be following after whose words? The Most High's words. And this is what it says in Devarim 32:46. And it says, "And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall commandeth your children to guard, to do with all the words of the Torah. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. And through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land whither you go over the Jordan to possess it," or Jordan. The words of the Most High are not in vain. But when we go after the things of men, they are. So keeping of pagan holidays is a vain thing to do. It's just really kind of a tragedy that so many have that desire to partake in them, because it's all going to be vanity. And yet people have such a hard time partaking in the feast of the Most High. So we are supposed to have a heart for the Most High, love the Most High, love His word, and keep His word. You can't have one without the other. See, some people want to keep His word, but not really have a heart for Him. And that's not going to work either. But you're supposed to keep His word and have a love for Him, love for them. Keep His words. And who is the word? Yeshua HaMashiach. And all the things, He was there in the beginning, and He spoke all the commandments to Moses in the mountain. And that's why we should honor His feast, which are found in Leviticus 23, and not honor these pagan feasts. Because we're giving those rule over us, the things that will perish, instead of honoring the feast that the Most High gave us that will not perish. And clearly, I hope you see that should not be so. But I'm going to read this. This is so powerful. It's Melechim Shanai. I want to say this is First Chronicles 17 and 15. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he kept with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahuwah has charged them that they should not do like them. So when we partake in these vain holidays, we have become vain. And we are supposed to keep Yah's days, Yah's feast in our hearts, in our spirits, in every part of our being. Be circumcised of the heart. That's what we are supposed to be. Circumcised in our heart and keeping his days, loving them, guarding them, cherishing them, and hating the things of this world. That is what the Most High petitions his peculiar people to do. So, shalom, family. I hope this message just makes you, if nothing else, research it for yourself. Study to show yourself approved. That you will leave Babylon and all their customs and seek and go after that straight and narrow road. Shalom.